season gradually comes to a close is Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran, governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Lagos State. Welcome to the morning show.
Thank you, Ayo. Good morning.
Well, Jandon, that's the name that people know, right? I hope I'm correct. Well, there's a flyer that is flying about, titled "The Battle for the Soul of Lagos." But you are conspicuously missing in that flyer. What we have there is the candidate of the Labour Party and also the candidate of the APC. I don't know who the author of that material is, but it looks like some people have assumed that you are not part of the race as a front runner. What do you say to that?
Okay, I think at this point, I need to bring forward what I know about Lagos politics and what you call cartel across party lines in Lagos politics. At this point, which is 3 days to elections, Lagosians need to do a critical analysis of the choices before them, before they take it. Everybody is aware of my story from where I was coming from, fighting what we call godfatherism, because we believe it is that monopoly that has hindered development in Lagos across all sectors of our economy. And when I was in APC, I keep saying this, I went there to understudy the system, politically, governance and the likes. I then realized that Lagos political parties, especially APC and PDP, is like a trouser of two pockets of the same trouser, if you understand. Okay. You will see, exactly, so this is from them. You will see that you have godfatherism issue in APC in Lagos State, which everybody knows. I fought this to a standstill and we're able to move to PDP. I'm moving to PDP not because Jandor doesn't know what is happening in PDP. You understand? But we have loyal party members who have been working very hard in PDP. But we have leadership who are now dealers in PDP. Now, I will break it down. When I got into PDP, when I created the ripples within APC and we moved en masse into PDP, we got to PDP with ambition, with aspiration. Everybody knew this guy wants to run for governor. And I'm saying this so that all of us will understand that we can go back to it. So when I got there, I went straight into Chief Bodejo's house. There are different tendencies within the PDP. We have the Duarte, we have the Dr. Ogunkelu. I went into Bodejo's house despite the fact that the house has nothing in terms of structure that can even make you to be governor. But I went there through Chief Olusegun Obasanjo to say, okay, I'm going into PDP. I know this has always been the problem. So if we're able to address the man that has always been the problem, then the problem is half solved. So I'm going into the house. Because they work hand in hand with the principalities in APC. I know. So when I got in there, they were preparing to have state ESCO election, state congress election. And it was during that time I met Mr. Gbadebo Roosevelt at Dr. Bukola Saraki's place. Who introduced him to me? And I said, oh, do you know Gbadebo? I said, oh, okay, no. He said, oh, he's one of you in PDP where you're coming into. He wants to be party secretary in the next Congress that is coming up. Now, with what we cost in APC and moved to PDP, so there was a signal from APC to PDP, to say, because it's a cartel, it's all, working together, to say, what, that boy has to be stopped and all of that. It was 2 weeks after I got in that Gbadebo decided to change to wanting to run for office of governor in the same house. So some of us looked at it and approached Chief then and said, this boy, you have said to everybody that is your friend's son. And, you are his godfather, so to speak. Why would two of us come out from the same house? We're going to be sharing the little vote in this house because there are others on that tendency. We go into that primary election, it will happen this way. He said, no, don't worry, forget it. When did it? And he dismissed it. So we went into it because I studied this game from, the masters themselves. I just refused to go to the leadership school thereafter. I was able to claim tickets without the support of any one of them and won the primary. So immediately after winning the primary, the same Chief Bodejo came to sell Gbadebo to me to pick as my running mate. And I was like, I can't fight a godfather where I was coming from. And I'm here babysitting another godfather. It shows we're not standing for anything. So I refused. That is why you've noticed, because you have interviewed him on this station many a times, you will see him eulogizing the other guy at the expense of candidate of his own party. It is what it is, because he asked him to move to Labour thereafter, when he went to Labour. And again, I have been on this campaign. You've been reporting attacks on Jandor every day, every now and then, a PDP candidate. Chief Bodejo and a few other leaders has never for one day come on here to condemn this attack on the candidate of their own party. I don't know if you understand. Just about a few days ago or thereabout, the same Chief Bodejo came out, a PDP chieftain, saying some people want to keep Gbadebo revival. So you now understand what is happening. It's across board in terms of this godfatherism. Of course, I've had someone going to Alaba International Market, telling them, convincing them, trying to tell them to vote for him, to elections are just doing it like this. And at the end of it, he ended it like, okay, if you're not going to vote for me, vote for Labour. You understand? So, what is happening in Lagos is that Jandor is that only person that doesn't belong to that school. That's why they can come up with that flyer. And they will receive shock of their dear life on Saturday. Because what happened February 25th has exposed politicians to say, you know what, when it comes to general election, you are inconsequential. Labour Party, Peter Obi, without agents, canvassers, and the likes, were able to pull that because people came all out for them and they stood by that vote. That's why. So you now imagine us with structure, with number. See, you know what? I have known this is going to happen. That's why they were fighting me. When I came into the party, we came from with our own foot soldiers into PDP. And I know them because I understand what is going to happen at the end of the day. Because every election cycle, you will see that the same Chief Bodejo that will come on air and finish Tinubu from head to toe, we do something that will ensure that PDP doesn't win every election cycle. So by picking up a fight with everybody who is being governorship candidates, it's a trend. Go and check it. All of them can't just be bad. So something is fishy. Baba said he's going to go to Ghana if Tinubu emerges winner. I thought by now we should be calling us from Accra. But he's still in Lagos now, trying to cause another issue. Leaving your own candidate to endorse another party's candidate without even sitting down with me and call, hey, you guys come, let's discuss. When Peter Obi called me, because I met with Peter Obi, and my principal also called me, which is Atiku Abubakar, on this matter and said, okay, Peter Obi said, your principal will call you. I will also call the other guy. Let us first discuss whether or not alliance will work amongst you. And I said, I don't have a problem with alliance. The problem that I have is, how are we going to go into it? Not gambling, by making sure we put our best foot forward.
All right, thank you. So from what I gather from what you said, there are internal saboteurs of your ambition on Saturday within the PDP. Because the question, let me finish. So the question I was going to ask was, do you have support from your party? I'm glad you talked about the fact that your presidential candidate, your principal, has called you, because on Monday, we had Mr. Peter Obi sitting where you are sitting now, and he publicly endorsed Mr. Gbadebo's rival. Yes. But on your side, we haven't seen that kind of show of support from the PDP. Are you running, and so you can debunk that, are you running a solo campaign in this instance? In fact, in your latest campaign video, you had Mr. Peter Obi as your opener, and you were thanking Lagosians for coming out to vote.
That was not sponsored by us.
Okay, no. It was different.
No,
so why did you not pull it down?
That was sponsored by us.
Okay, so why did you not pull it down or give a statement?
Let me tell you what, we didn't sponsor it. Let me tell you what happened. We didn't sponsor it.
Okay.
You see, before the February 25th election, all the Igbos in all the major markets everywhere, they've always been traditional PDP voters. Everybody knows that in Lagos. So myself and my senator, Ireland, were going one market to the other, appealing to them and begging them they have to do PDP in presidential election and all of this. And they told us clearly that no, that they are going to stand by their own. No, we should allow them. But Senate, March 11th, as at then, we are going to come back home and do our biddings. That's what they told us. So immediately after that election, on Monday, they were having their meeting, the entire 48 acres of market. They were having their meeting on Sunday, and they called us into their meeting to say, well, we have had our statement, we want to, we have done what we want to do, but next is for you to know we have done jingles, we have done this, we are going to put it on here, so that you know that we're really supporting with our money. And none of that. So those ones that with us, they are
so
not going to vote.
Was not
No, it was
at the end of the message, there was nothing around powered by it was just as if it was from your campaign.
No, it wasn't from us. It's sponsored. It was sponsored. Okay. And that's we have that over and over during campaign. So they're standing by us. And let me answer your second question about if my party is standing by me.
Okay.
When we had this discussion with my principal, and the same discussion I had with Peter, we said, okay, Jandor, how would this alliance work? Of course, the alliance can work if we're ready to put our best foot forward. Analyze the two candidates. This other person has two pending cases on his candidacy. One is in Supreme Court. And if you understand the kind of character we are dealing with on the other side, Supreme Court can come to say, the Labour Party doesn't have a candidate after we have done that. Or the second one, which has to do with Section 77, let anybody say whatever they want to say about it. Now, it is only court of competent jurisdiction that will interpret that for everybody at the end of the day. We're not ready to gamble going into that. So that's why we say, okay.
Jandor, a couple of things, and these are hard truths. I'll tell you this. You have lost momentum. Prior to the last elections, you had momentum. I'll look you now as a friend and tell you, the buzz around Jandor then was big, but the buzz around Jandor after this last 25th of February election is no longer there.
Okay, you want me to respond to that?
No, you will respond to that. And secondly, it is obvious that there is no deal that is going to work out between both of you prior to the election. So you people will have to go solo. Because as of today, if nothing has been done, nothing is going to work out. That's another hard reality. Thirdly, somebody also sent a message and said that you lied, that Sanwo-Olu did not say vote Labour instead then. Maybe you have to react to that.
That I lied?
Yes, I mean, this show will take rebuttals from every part. That Sanwo-Olu did not say vote. You can vote Labour in Alaba if you don't want. And if you talk about this zest for the PDP so much, Jandor, why couldn't you deliver for Atiku Abubakar in the Lagos elections? Okay. Why couldn't you deliver? Because that was your first test.
Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. A lot of people don't really understand this game. That's why you see the people that are jumping up and about, thinking they have a wave that they can ride on. They're doing a whole lot of mistake, and they will get the result of this election. I've taken my time to analyze this, even on this station when I came. We had that election first. That election was on religion, religions, ethnicity, and the likes. And in Lagos, we have a supposed, Lagosian who is also on the ballot. If you look at that election, you will see that the guy won in all indigenous local governments of Lagos. In the in Badagry, in Bejuleke, in Ikorodu. I don't know if you understand. That is because they decided to say, it's our home. Let's do that. If you look at it, the Igbo-dominated community in Lagos, from Ojo, Amuwo, Ajeromi, Oshodi, Solo, Labour Party won. Now, that's Peter Obi won. If you look at where you have more elites, in Koshofe, part of Alimosho, elite came out to say, we are giving this guy the vote. It's not about the party. I don't know if you understand. Now, after that, go back to Lagos West. From the 582,000 vote polled by Peter Obi, our own senatorial candidate polled over 400,000 of that votes in Lagos West. And he won that election, but they obtained Ireland. He won that election, they obtained it. So which means that the people who were voting Labour Party knew that the next thing for us to do is to vote PDP, because that is what is not APC. So, and a lot of people look at Atiku Abubakar's 75,000 votes. They're not paying attention to Eroland 417,000 votes. A PDP candidate in that same election. They are not paying attention.
So if Eroland could get 400 and something thousand, why didn't Atiku get 400 and something thousand?
I have said to you, I have said to you that this election was along ethnic and religious line. People decided to say, we will stay with our Christian brother, we will stay with our Igbo brother, and the elite was like, let's try this fresh thing. And that is what played out in that election. And if anybody think it's the same thing that is going to play out in this gubernatorial election, they have missed it. So that's why you see them jumping on that wave to say, okay, we can ride. If Atiku had won, that is what we'll be doing by now, and say, oh, okay, yes, let's be more lionized because he has won. Now, speaking about momentum, Rufai, I took my time to study this game and play it the way it's been played. You see, all the momentum that you're talking about, these are things that were deliberately sponsored to put here. And I'm telling you, places that I have been to in this Lagos, densely populated community that don't know anything about what you do here, you will see what is going to come out. Now, if anybody is thinking that the same thing you have February 25th is what you're going to have here, you're mistaken, because some of the elite that voted Peter Obi with the outcome, they're disappointed, they're going back. Some do have sense to know, oh no, it's not about anybody who call Labour, it's about the man that will vote for. Let us look at every other person, on the ballot to do a critical analysis of them. The third one, some people flew into this country to vote for Peter Obi, they've gone back. Let them repeat Etiosa federal constituency election tomorrow without Peter Obi on the ballot. Do you think that guy will win Banky W? No, he will not. Banky W lost to Peter Obi, not that guy. So the Labour Party has been on the ballot since 1999, up until this moment. Now, how then do we now look at the people who want to vote? Where were you? Where have you been? When campaign was declared open from October 12th last year, and you suddenly resurrected from and say because something has happened, and you think it's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. That's what they're all jumping at to say. But on Saturday, Rufai, on Saturday, you will see numbers and you'll be shocked.
But Jando, let me quickly say this. You said here, you were sitting on this seat when you said that I have the momentum, and I didn't argue then with you. I have the momentum prior to the last election. That's why they're attacking me.
Of course.
That's why they shot at you in Surulere.
Of course.
But for the very first time...
And they're still attacking us.
But for the very first time, Gbadebo was shot out in Epe.
Let me tell
So
you
why are they attacking him now? Because you said your words were, oh, you see, they are not attacking the others, they are attacking me because I have the momentum. But now, Gbadebo has not been attacked. So does that say that the momentum has swung to him?
No, Rufai. You see, when you get into election, 2 weeks to election, politicians don't go about making noise anymore. What we have done in the past is what we started doing. After the whole this thing, what you then need to do is to start consolidating, move into quietly and begin to take stock to understand whether, how many local government I've been to between last week and now. I don't know if you understand. You know how many meetings that we have had to do. You know how many deals that we've done across party lines. I don't know if you understand.
But have they come out openly and endorse you?
Election, see, at this time, if you're a tactical politician, this is not the time to say Rufai is with me because they'll go after Rufai.
Jando, we are running out of time.
This is the time to say.
We'll need some clarifications. I need to take you back to some of the things you said. You said some leaders within the PDP have become dealers. Can you specifically mention them? I know you were trying to...
No, Dr. Bacha, I'm not trying to do anything. You see, this election...
I have not finished.
I want to leave there. This election is about the people of Lagos, not about any individual.
Okay.
And people must know what we are getting into if we must take a decision.
Okay. So it will be nice for you to identify those leaders that have become dealers.
We identify.
Just wait. Then secondly, you said, by now you expected somebody would have gone to Accra. Were you possibly referring to Chief Bode George? Because I recall that, no, it's not Accra that he said. He said if Bola Tinubu becomes president of Nigeria, he will go to Togo. And some people on social media claim they've been monitoring the Togo border, whether they will see Chief Bode George around there. But the question I want to ask you is this: is it true? Because we talked about discussing with Mr. P2B and also Waziri Atiku Abubakar winning in. Is it true that you asked that Gbadebo Rosebival should step down for you and that you will make him your deputy as part of, whatever talks going on?
We know that.
Then the other question is, there is a lady who has been very active on social media saying it's not possible, one individual saying that, no, you cannot be governor. And she raised the question that Lagosians should ask you, where is your wife? She said a lot of other things that I don't want to repeat here. But I noticed that your wife showed up yesterday. I have seen a story. So you are so much under pressure that one person asking for your wife compelled you to bring your wife from the US to show her that truly you are married. These issues.
Anyway, that's not it. To start with, let me pick it from there. You see, it's just my thing that I don't want to involve my family in politics, as a matter of fact. Because by the time I'm done with all of this, that's where I'm going back to. So I'm such a person that protects, I don't do a social media, I don't put them out there. But it has been there that on election day, when it's 2 days to 3 days to election, of course I will appear at the polling units with my wife to say, okay, now we're voting. I have a wife. Everybody knows I have a wife. When they look and they don't get anything about you, they try to create one. And we understand this game. And that is one attack that Rufy is not seeing, that is still ongoing on my candidacy. Why would anybody want to create such to say, let's destabilize? But we know the game, the secret of the game is just focus, eyes on the ball, because it will come anyway. That's why they call it a dirty game. You understand? But you see that one, the moment we are done with this process, because what they're doing is to distract you so that you'll be dragging with that. And you will see that we have remained so focused. I mean, it came up during Atiku Abubakar's time. It came up during Tinubu's time. They shit for body, they pee for body. But you remain focused to where you are going. When you get to where you're going, then you can deal with all this matter thereafter. Now, so I wasn't under pressure to say I was to bring my. It was time for her to come because the election is in few days, and for us to do the voting and come back. Every event, PDP members knew that whenever they are doing, when Chief Minister Atiku Abubakar came to Lagos, they did the banner, they did the park that my wife did. Her picture was there, and they shared it to people. And so when people hear that, they know this is still the same policies. Now, what I was speaking to earlier on about. I don't know how you want to reconcile the fact that if truly these people love Lagos, if truly they really love Lagos, the way they're claiming, and they see a golden opportunity for us to take Lagos, and we now have two candidates and you want alliance to work, all you need to do is to make sure in doing that, put your best foot forward. In terms of amount of work that anybody would have done in the history of Lagos politics, nobody matched what we have done. The only person that we can speak to is late Funshaw Williams, God bless his soul. And the second one is, okay, we want to take this Lagos. Do we now go because we don't like Jandor and pick somebody whose candidacy is still being questioned in court? Or who even me? Because by the time we go into this election and I win on Saturday, because we are going to win this election, and we win on Saturday, it can't even come to challenge that victory, because in the first place we say, no, you didn't even qualify to run because of your breach of Section 77 of the Electoral Act. Why would anybody now say we'll go to alliance and put such a person forward? By so doing, that would amount to death penalty for us.
Sorry, this question is for somebody very important. In a case where both of you can agree and the incumbent wins, how would you feel?
Let me tell you something.
Because of your egos.
No, let me tell you something, Rufai. If you go into this election 3 years, we will win, maybe with slim margin. If we go with them, we'll probably win with landslide. Now, we can't agree to that alliance. We say, you go forward because of this snag. The character we are dealing, you know our judiciary now, they will come with one technicality to say you don't have candidates. Or they can decide to bring up somebody who was fourth position to come and be first position. We've seen things. So we can't go into that election, sitting on a keg of gunpowder. There is 2 cases on your neck. I don't have any. I think these people, if they truly love Lagos, they will say, you know what? Let us...
These people, name them.
Chief Odiyach is one of them now. Mm-hmm. Bucknor is one of them.
Who?
Chief Bucknor. Uh-huh. They left their own candidate.
Who else?
They left their own candidate. No, this is in the public domain. It was on the news. They left their own candidate to go and endorse another party's candidate without even calling me or calling both of us to say, how do we go about this? And people call their attention to this snag. You can say it is not there. It doesn't matter. It is only court of competent jurisdiction that will determine and interpret that. We shouldn't wait and go and do. So I've spoken about the choices. Godfatherism has been the problem of Lagos. We must put our best foot forward. I'm an independent candidate. That's what we're doing.
All right, that's
okay. Thank you very much. We've been talking to Dr. Adediran, popularly known as Jandor, the gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Lagos.